Let's look at some hard Italian-style cheeses today on Cheese Matters, starting with the legendary Parmigiano Reggiano. This is a cheese that really packs a lot of flavour, and it has been matured for about at least 2 years. It's actually quite a dry, almost brittle cheese and quite grainy. All these cheeses are in the Grana style family, so they are quite dry, they keep very well, and they add lots of flavour to your cooking. Parmigiano Reggiano is really well known, but a lesser known one is Grana Padano, used by many Italians. It actually comes from the northern part of Italy, from the Po Valley. It's quite a grainy cheese, as the name suggests, and has got some great flavour. You can actually buy them already cut into wedges in your supermarket, which is really great. So let's just try a little bit of that cheese. I can find that the actual Parmigiano Reggiano is actually quite dry. It's sweet and it's nutty, it's got quite a lot of depth of flavour and that little bit of grainy crystals, which is quite nice to crunch on. And the Padano's also got a sweetness. It's a little bit more mellow in flavour, but really is not going to clash with my cooking, so I really love to use that as well. Some Australian Parmesan, which is a much fresher style of cheese. It has a bit more of a zesty flavour. You can see it's quite creamy, and I just find that's got a little more tang to it. So there's cheeses for everyone when you're looking at this particular style, depending where you're purchasing them, and they can all be used in the recipe I'm making today. There's a couple of other varieties here. I have a Romano and also a Pecorino. This range of cheese, again, is characterised by being grainy and brittle, but very good to grate. But in fact, it's also good on a cheese platter. You'll find if you put a little bit out at the end of a meal with a nice glass of red wine, it's a fantastic way to nibble at the end of the meal to finish off the wine. Yum. If you have some Parmesan and some pasta, a little bit of tuna in the cupboard, you've always got an easy meal, and you'll love this Tuna and Avocado Penne. So I'm just going to put some pasta on to boil. Have a look over here. Just using some penne pasta today, in a pot of salted boiling water. And penne pasta actually gets its name for the shape of it, which is, it's actually like a quill, which is the penne is the Italian name for a quill. I love the way the Italians call their pasta shapes by what they look like. It's, you know, farfalle is butterfly-shaped pasta, and spaghetti is little strings, and fettuccine is ribbons. It's very practical, but also has that touch of romance, which the Italians are so good at. I love that. So we'll just bring that to the boil. They'll take about 9 minutes or so. And I'm just going to heat a little bit of oil. So I've got a can here of tuna, about 425 gram can. And I'm actually going to use the oil in the can, because we usually tend to drain that off, don't we? So pour that in. This will give it a lovely tuna flavour, but also make use of that oil in the tin as well. 4 spring onions, give those a quick chop. I tend to use these a lot. I always have them in the fridge because they're fresh and they give a lovely taste to a dish. They're also fairly easy to prepare, and they also don't make the mascara run the way that onions do. So pop those in. Half a red pepper, or just a small red pepper. Sometimes red peppers can be quite big, can't they? And you don't really need it to be overpowering. So we'll give that a chop. Just a rough chop, doesn't have to be too fancy. In that goes. It's looking Italian already with that beautiful red and green colours. I'm just going to soften those down a little. And at the same time, give that pasta a bit of a stir. It's on a nice rolling boil now. I'm just going to cut up the avocado now. And I think I'll prepare the parsley too. So I've got some continental parsley here. You know I love using continental parsley. It has got such great flavour. Just a little bit of a chop there. And we certainly don't need those stalks. So everything's almost ready. I just need to get some cheese happening. I'm using Grana Padano today, and it's been aged for about 16 months. You can actually buy it in the supermarket as a wedge. I'm going to grate half of that. You need about 125 grams in the recipe. I'm going to grate half of it, and the rest I'm going to shave with a peeler for garnish, which will be lovely. The thing about using a beautiful cheese like this is it's sweet and it's nutty, and it just adds such a kick to your dish, which is really lovely. That pasta is just al dente, which means it's ready to come out. Let's just drain it over here. So just to drain, I'm leaving some of the moisture in there, and we'll toss that in together with the tuna. So pop that in and give it a good mix, and then we can add the avocado. And a little bit of the parsley, and give it just a lovely mix all the way through. Make sure the bowls are ready, because serving this immediately is really what you should be doing. If you haven't got penne pasta, you can use beautiful spiral pasta. It also works well with spaghetti. Just got to break up that tuna a little bit and toss through that lovely parsley for that little fresh flavour. And now for the cheese. So this beautiful grated Grana Padano, sprinkle that in. How delicious is this going to be? Nice little stir. A bit of salt and pepper for seasoning. Don't add too much salt, because remember the Grana has a nice bit of salt in it. But freshly ground black pepper is always lovely. It livens the dish up. And you can certainly use any other veggies that you have kicking around with this type of recipe. So let's serve that up. One more spoon, dished up very carefully. And now for the finishing touches, which of course is a little bit of the Grana Padano, just shaved over the top. Always use a vegetable peeler to do this job. I find it's the best tool for the job. A little bit of pepper, and just a few little continental parsley leaves to finish that. That's going to be delicious, a really nice, quick and easy meal for everyone. For more information on cheese, go to cheesematters.com.au, your complete guide to cheese.